Happy Sunday, beautiful patrons. As always, it is wonderful to be speaking with you once again. Not a lot to share on this Sunday message. I'm just reminded about the power of community and the power of connections. It is no wonder that instinctively, even if a person doesn't have an example in front of them of the possible loss of community when they graduate from their religion and it becomes publicly known, I think even instinctively, people know that there is a great risk of losing community. Well, even today, at this very moment, Kelly and I are in another town, and we're actually staying with some beautiful humanists that I had the pleasure of staying with about 3 years ago. And it is a clear and powerful reminder of the power of community, of the necessity of community. Oftentimes, I think the community that actually exists within the secular movement is somewhat overlooked because it doesn't look like the type of community that we grew accustomed to when we were inside of religion. But my contention has been, the entire time that I've been in the secular movement, that the movement actually does have community, very strong, very vibrant, very effective community. Now, my argument for promoting institutions such as Community Mission Chapel and supporting organizations like Sunday Assembly is because I do recognize that the support that people receive within the secular movement can be somewhat sporadic versus a well-organized, a well-staffed, a well-trained, and a well-motivated institution more similar to what we were used to in religion can give its participants support sometimes more effectively, sometimes more regularly, more dependably, simply because they are tasked with those jobs. They are obligated by not just a sense of friendship, not just a sense of being a humanitarian, but also a sense of duty, that this is what you are literally meant to do in this organization. And so I have had a desire to make sure that we were creating communities and safety nets within our community that were more official, more institutionalized, so that people didn't accidentally fall through the gaps. There are times when some people may join our ranks that are not as easily connected to the greater group, and they can miss several meetings, sometimes without necessarily being noticed. And so that was the only reason that I've suggested there needs to be some ramping up of our community skills within the movement. But with all that being said, this weekend alone is a fantastic reminder to me of the community that does exist. And the fear that we have as we see ourselves graduating and eventually separating ourselves from our religion and our religious community, it is a justified fear. It is a very justified concern. Not only is it heartbreaking to sever these relationships, but it is also, to say just an inconvenience would be to minimize the pain and the facts. it can be life-stopping in many ways to be outside of your community. So I want to encourage anyone that you would like to encourage with this message by saying there is truly a very real and active community within the secular movement. Now, does that mean that it's perfect? Of course not. Does that mean that it is as efficient as some of the better churches that we've belonged to? Of course not. Does that mean that it is easy to take advantage of the community that exists, the support and help? No, absolutely not. I am one of the last people in the world to actually ask for help. It is taking everything that I can do to just ask people to listen to our new podcast. And I haven't even been as I haven't even asked people to participate with Team DeWitt and the Patreon account the way that I should have. So there are many, many benefits that are available, but that doesn't mean that there's not obstacles to obtaining those benefits. But if we can push through those obstacles, we can truly benefit from the community that exists. It is fantastic to be right now coming to you from another state, obviously in another town, recording this message in the guest bedroom of what has become friends that are being very supportive to changes that are going on in our lives. And so this is something that needs to be made more widely known to people who are open to hear it, and open to hear it because they are in the process of graduating from their religion, or they are already graduated and trying to find ways to get plugged in. So I don't have as much of a message today as I do just a sense of gratitude, not just for the people that we're staying with this weekend. It's been absolutely heartwarming to have Kelly along with me on this particular adventure. But I want to also thank the greater secular movement, anyone who might hear this message, and then in particular, and I hope that I never wear you out with this. Sometimes we can say things so many times that it loses its meaning, but I want to thank you, dear patrons, in particular. Regardless of the level at which you are able to give, every single dollar has made a significant difference in our lives and has enabled us to finally be where we're at now, to be able to be recording the Hope After Faith podcast, to be working on ideas that have now spun off from this podcast. Every bit of this, in so many ways over the last year plus, has been really due to your contributions, your support, your encouragement, your love, your part of being our new community, being part of our new family. This is love. This is what we preached about for years and did not always see. And now we're able to see it without preaching about it. Seems hard for me to imagine a way that it could get much better than that. Love you very much. Hope you enjoyed not your Sunday message, but just your Sunday talk. Talk to you all again soon. Bye-bye.